Hi, everyone. Welcome to the final episode of Eureka's Volume 5 podcast. Today, we're here to reflect, celebrate, and of course, have some fun. I am Mansi Sinu, head of the marketing and outreach team.
And I am Avantika Kamath, the head of marketing and outreach team. It feels like we just embarked on Volume 5 yesterday, and now we've reached its end already. From brainstorming sessions to sleepless nights, we've seen it all, and today we're taking you behind the scenes of Eureka's journey. Now, I would like for our team members to introduce themselves and their position within Eureka.
Hi everyone, I am Shreya Agrawal and I'm the editor-in-chief for Eureka Volume 5.
Hi everyone, I am Harsh Bokadia and I'm the editor for Eureka Volume 5.
Hi everyone, I'm Rohan Menon. I am the writing head of Volume 5.
Hello to everyone watching. I'm Aditi Nambiar and I'm the creatives head for Eureka Volume 5.
Amazing. Now, moving on to the first question, which goes to all of you. Looking back on Volume 5, how has the journey been for you individually?
Am I supposed to give a philosophically deep answer or just yes, it's a good, volume. We've done whatever we thought about. Milestones, yeah. No, I'll just give the general answer. I think so, yeah. Uh, it's been a very interesting issue. We started out a lot of new things. We started a podcast. We've been consistent in, yes, claps for everybody. We've been consistent enough to at least have a comic strip in every issue. Our posts have been amazing. We've tried to incorporate memes, puns in an articles. It's been a lot of new things, it may be small, but together it's been an amazing volume. Uh, Personally, I think this is my favorite volume. I don't want to be biased here, but this is an amazing 9 months working in Eureka for Volume 5.
Okay, so um, the major thing that I've taken away from this volume is that basically a lot of small things can add up. They do add up, and it turns out to be something beautiful. As Shreya said, we have our comics, we have our interviews, we have our articles. On top of that, we had guest authors, and our interviewees are amazing. One of the greatest milestones that we had was having offline interviews, and props to Mansi and Avantika for that. So, just basically that a lot of small things, as and when they happen, they have like a snowball effect, and eventually it's beautiful. So, yeah.
Yeah, for me, I think this was all a very new experience, being the head of especially a newsletter. I've always loved writing, but it was amazing to see other people's like very new perspectives, learning about new ideas and other people's thought processes. It gave me a very unique understanding of different ways of writing as opposed to just my singular way of writing. Also, I got the opportunity to just like read through all of them because having to edit a lot of the articles as well. Um Communicating with other people and trying to figure out the best way to get a very huge idea in 600 words is also like, I don't know, it's a very fun and creative process. So yeah, that's definitely been the biggest takeaway for me in the last 9 months.
Okay, so the last few months as the head of creatives, it has been a roller coaster for sure. Like there have been many changes in the team itself, and we introduced the comic section. That was something completely new that happened for this volume. And I think for the first two issues, we also had a spot the differences thing that did not take off well, but we tried our best. And for the creators team, it is something that we need to learn how to perceive the articles that are being given. So that is something that I learned throughout the issues that were being released. And yeah, so that was great.
Wonderful. Now, the next question is, what were some of the major milestones, both spoken and unspoken, that you had envisioned for your particular team or for the entire team and successfully achieved for Volume 5?
I think I've been saying this since like the first meeting that we ever had of all of the heads together that we should start a podcast. Like honestly, we should just go ahead with it, and we did. Uh, a lot of unspoken things that I think that we've achieved is Harsh will be very proud of me for saying this that I finally wrote my first Eureka article in 3 years of being in Eureka, and even though I wanted to contribute more, I could not. But I'm just happy I finally wrote that one article. And for the spoken things, I think we've been very loud about it. Our podcast, our comic series, offline interviews. Oh my god, uh, having guest authors, the type of interviewees we've had. Well, if I've not been vocal about it, I think I've done a bad job. But there's been a lot. This we've achieved a lot of milestones this volume.
Okay, so a personal milestone is that I wrote an article, and it was basically a law-based article, which is something that has always interested me. So I was able to explore that through a scientific newsletter. So that is amazing. And as for the Eureka milestones, I have the document open of the milestones we had planned, and I sat and planned the milestones. And I can say we checked off half of the list, from podcasts to crosswords, no, not crosswords, comics, interviews, sponsors to, like, not sponsors, but having flyers around the college, having offline interviews. We have checked half of our milestone list. So knowing that in the next volume, we already have things to do, it's a great achievement for the entire Eureka team. I would want to speak for individual teams as well, but time constraints. So I would not speak for that. But overall, every team has delivered their content, their full passion into the newsletter. And I'm proud of everyone. Yeah.
I think for me personally, as I think even when it went back to the interview, I was talking about getting a little bit of more of an interdisciplinary approach into the newsletter as opposed to just being in biology. And I think especially some of our writers, like I think Shantanu especially, who I have been observing all his articles, there's a very good connection between a lot of different fields and the field of science. So I think that was amazing, and it's something that I really, which I find is really unique in the articles in this volume. And outside of that, I think Shreya allowing me to give unhinged quotes is a very nice milestone.
Okay, so for the creators theme, I would say that a personal milestone would have been maybe it would have been that I have tried to explore different art styles for the magazine itself, and we have tried to change how the magazine looks as such. And yeah, so people have different creative vision, and I have a personal vision. So I've tried to match that with the issue, and I hope people liked it.
Okay, those were some amazing answers to the question that we've asked. Now, moving on to the next question. What was your favorite issue while working on it? And which one was your favorite one as a reader?
Pass, pass.
You don't have that option.
Harsh, you go. Pass. Okay, I think that would be, playing favorites. And I think all of the issues this time, the themes, the illustrations, articles, we've been great with all the 9 issues. Uh, so I want to say all of them. I'll be a diplomat here and I'll say all of them for both.
Okay, so favorite issue, and what is the second part?
So, first is the favorite issue you worked on, and second is favorite one as a reader.
Okay, favorite issue that I worked on is issue 8, where we basically talked about genetics. And obviously, I had an article that that's a factor. But apart from that, the interview was just so informative, and to hear from the interviewee is just enlightening. So issue 8 definitely because of the interview. And as a reader, I would say issue one, sports and physiotherapy. That is an amazing theme. Very new, I think, across the five volumes. It was a very new theme. So it was nice to have that new theme. So, yeah, from a reader perspective, issue one.
Uh, my favorite issue would have been the alternative systems of medicine, like the different thing. Mainly because I got a ride on cannabis for that one. But as a reader, even I would agree with issue one because it's the one where I got the most diverse articles from psychology students, from students in biomedical and biological sciences, and I found out stuff that I'd never even heard of before. So yes.
So from what I can recall, the best I would say it would have been Whispers of the Wild and Seeds of Change. Those were some amazing issues, and the last issue, which is Circadian Rhythm, that was also amazing. So yeah, that is my choices.
Okay, that was some very fun as well as informative piece of info, with some people being diplomats to some answering very honestly. Now, moving on to the very fun segments that we have planned for you guys. Now, we're going to start and kick off with rapid fire round. So, quick answers, but you all can have your extra little masala and tadka to it. Ready? We can have all your mics on if you all want for this. Okay, so if everyone's ready, let's start. If you had to rename Eureka, what would you call it?
Okay, all I can think in my mind right now are the scientific journals that we regularly read. Nothing original is coming to mind. Oh my God.
I'm thinking of something which is the opposite of Eureka. So, Eureka is finding out there's something, some word which means hidden, something like that. Not sure which word, but along those lines.
Chupa Rustam.
Oh, I can't think of anything. This is not a good look for the
Yeah.
writers.
Where is the thesaurus when you need it? Oh my God.
If I was in
Uh,
charge of this, the magazine would shut down. So please don't ask me.
How about we just keep it Eureka and go ahead? Yeah, next question. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay, then Eureka it is, guys. So, rank in order of your favorite team, writing, creatives, and Mao.
All of the above.
Shreya, no diplomatic answers allowed. No,
All of the above.
no, you got to pick. It's a rapid fire round.
I'm being a diplomat. This is not coffee with Karan. I'm not getting a hamper as a gift. All of the above.
See, I'm going to say Mao first because they're in charge of this interview and I don't want to look bad. Then I'm going to say creatives and then mine. I'm the head of mine, so no one can do anything to mine.
I like how Rohan's answer has stayed consistent from podcast one to the last podcast.
Be
I've
diplomatic,
learned
guys. I
from
have to
the
see you all
first.
tomorrow. So my answers would.
I'm not gonna answer. I've learned from the opening notes podcast. I'm not gonna answer.
Wait,
We've
what
learned.
what about Avantika and Mansi? What do you all like?
Yeah,
In
actually,
order?
you guys answer
Yes.
this. No, you guys answer this.
Don't
Okay,
put us
for
on spot.
me, it'll be
Yes,
Mao, of
Avantika,
course,
answer.
first because मैं answer करूँगी. Mao, of course, first. I love the team. I love the creativity. I love the enthusiasm. Then, creatives, cause the illustrations they've made for each and every cover page and all articles. Chef's kiss. And then writing, cause amazing articles. Creative writing almost equal, but
Chal,
amazing
Nidhar,
articles.
bye
मैं
bye.
पता है
तुम लोग
मैंने
प्लान
राइटिंग के
करके
लिए
आए
आज
हो ना?
डाला कुछ तूने मेरे को अब तक पायसम नहीं दिया है तो
तुम
राइटिंग
लोग प्लान
क्लास
करके आए हो ना? ये सब सच्ची बोलना.
Okay,
Okay,
next
my
question.
pick would be the same as Avantika. Ma created the writing.
No.
Same. I'm biased. If I can pick Ma, I'll pick Ma for the rest of my life.
I 100% agree.
Exactly.
Okay, now with most of the people turning into diplomats, we'll move on to our next question, which is favorite head or member you are currently working with.
But
अभी
sorry,
सारे क्वेश्चंस में तुम लोग डिप्लोमैट्स नहीं हो सकते.
I missed the
I'm
starting
sorry,
of
I'm
the question.
having network issues. I cannot, like,
Me too.
No,
hear
no,
you
we can
guys.
hear you clearly. It's okay. Go ahead, answer.
It's a,
No, I was
I cannot.
genuinely having network issues. Can you read?
Okay, so the
Oh my
question is favorite head or member you are currently working with.
Oh, easily Aishwarya. If she wasn't the head with me, I would all my pitfalls would be very apparent in Eureka.
he's such
Yeah,
like a
Gival.
nice co-head, yeah. Aishwarya, we miss you, but yes.
Agreed,
You
Yes.
also
agreed.
miss
Their
Tanya.
dynamic was just so good to
Amazing,
observe.
amazing. For all the unhinged ideas Rohan had, Aishwarya was there, giving a grounding scientific basis to it all. It was
Yes.
amazing.
I vote for the EIC, Shreya Gival.
I vote for Harsh book idea because he was the second creative's head for me. He was right there.
That's true. That's true. I want to say all my heads actually. It's this. I honestly cannot believe Eureka took
Yeah,
be where it is after 9 issues. If it weren't for a combined effort of us all, if
all. I
we are
agree. Yeah.
missing Sanya and Aishwarya here, guys, you are there in your hearts. We miss you. Uh, there have been personal instances with all of the members, all of the
Yes.
heads, especially where everybody has stepped up and done something with all the team changes and everything. It's been great. And this is not me
And
being diplomatic.
also,
This is me genuinely being true.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. And
but
also
yes,
Yes,
to
yes,
uh,
add,
Shreya. Yes, yes.
yes, yes.
and
Okay.
also to add, when comparing volume 4 to volume 5, I feel there was like every person from the core to members, every person has stood out. Every person has shown their side of creativity, their side of intellect, just their personality. So I feel everybody is a stakeholder for that. I would just like to add that.
Yeah. And
I
I
love
feel
how
it's not
Harsh is
only
turning
the
diplomatic.
people, and I feel like it's not only the people who've like been part of Eureka in the previous volumes, but also the new members, like the first years. They've been
Everyone,
amazing.
For
yeah,
sure. Dude,
amazing.
the
I
reels
agree.
these guys are making, I
yeah,
cannot. The
let's go.
effort these
Marketing
guys
and
are
outreach, let's go.
Yes,
crazy.
yes.
That's why we say Mao wow.
Yep.
Wow, wow, yes.
Yes,
Okay,
Harsh,
so
we know
I
your
just want
favorite
to
team. It's
ask,
okay.
wait, I just want to ask one question. So, how about members? Like Aditi and Rohan from your respective team, as well as Shreya and Harsh, not heads, like any member that you think has stood out really well, like who's done their job really well.
I would say Shantanu for like how well like his interdisciplinary approach, and also Aval
True.
actually. I didn't know she could write as well as she can, and she's taken so many new like approaches to her this thing.
Yeah.
Oh, also he gets his amazing comics at the end of every article, which is always fun to wait for.
Yeah.
I would give a shout out to four members actually. First is Pranjal because her comics
Good.
have been amazing. I have never had to like make her suggest a correction because it was always
Yeah.
perfect. Then second would have been Joanne because her art vision towards art and mine match very well. Third is Anshuman and fourth, wait, who was I going to say? Shit.
Open the
Okay,
list of members. Okay,
let's keep it.
देखते क्या काम
You,
किया?
you can guess. Yes, you can
Aditi,
guess.
तो खुद का नाम भी ले सकते, खुद को
Ah,
क्रेडिट
yeah,
दे.
yeah, me. It's me. It's
Yes,
good for
yes.
me. Okay.
Okay. So now moving on
What
to the
about
next
you two?
question. Acha,
Moving on, Harsh. Moving on.
moving on,
Okay,
moving on.
moving
Next
on.
question पे जाते हैं ना. क्यों अटकना है
Learn
तुम्हें?
to
I
be
love all my
diplomatic now.
members.
You need to learn this.
हाँ हाँ. मैं श्रेया से सीख चुकी हूँ. I love all my members.
सबके पास मेरा आते हैं चुम्बी सबको. Yes, yes.
Okay. So next question is, if you had to sum up your Eureka experience into a movie title, what would it be?
Does it need to be a new movie title or like an existing movie title?
It can be anything. That's fine. You all can be your own directors also if you want.
Oh wow.
Can it be a made up title?
What?
Can it be a made up title, or does it have to be an
Yeah,
existing
yeah,
title?
sure, sure. Let your creative juices flow. through
I'm
the
more
screen.
As a,
interested to hear Rohan's answer after this.
I'm thinking,
I
I'm
would like to
thinking.
refer back to my opening note, ZNMD. That's it. I don't think I have to say
How about
anything.
we change it to SNMD? Science na milegi dobara.
Hmm.
But
Why
you will
not? Why
because
not?
volume 6 is on the way.
Yes, yes.
I would,
Hashtag keep
I would
reading
also,
Eureka.
I would also refer to my opening note, but I don't really think it applies in this particular situation. Which was
And
always remember the first holes you penetrate are a person's nostrils.
yes, yes. I think that is becoming a personal motto at this point. Is it like a tagline you're going ahead with? Like, जब भी रोहन आएगा उसके नीचे से caption आना चाहिए the first whole right from a person. I wanna okay, I do not have an exact word for the movie, but I know what I can relate Eureka to. I wanna make it a scientific gossip newsletter of sorts. I wanna make it the scientific lady whistle down papers. I wanna put Bridgerton in this somehow. So some sort of scientific newsletter thingy. Gossip, scientific gossip. Yeah. Thank you.
I can't think of a movie, but if it would have been one, it would have been like a psychedelic dream. Like कुछ अलग ही चल रहा है वैसे movie में. That would have been Eureka.
Dude, go girl, go on vibes.
I will direct it.
I would actually say, I don't know. This is a weird one. It's a TV show called The Newsroom. Uh, I I have a feeling like the newsletter is a very good embodiment of that, but in a very scientific way.
Oh, इसका आंसर मैं भी दूंगी. रुको.
Yes, yes.
I'd say we can go with Andaz Apna Apna because each person has their own input in Eureka. So it's like a combination of everyone's efforts and each ka alag individuality showing through Eureka. So Andaz Apna.
Mm.
Mansi, do you have an answer for this too?
I'm sorry, I'm completely blank right now. That's what has come to mind.
So, also, just a fun, I don't know if it's a fact or what, but every theme we had, whenever I would like read its name, some film would come in my mind. So, yeah, I'm not going to say the films, but yes.
It totally was hanging अभी कम से कम last show का बोल.
Circadian rhythm, Sleeping Beauty.
That's a good
And the
one, yeah.
first issue was Bhag Milkha Bhag.
I expected as much. So proud.
Okay. So the next question is one Eureka article that left a lasting impression on you.
The article I wrote, finally, after 3 years. I'll say that.
Finally, not a diplomatic answer.
No, मैं बोल रही हूँ कि मेरा article the neuroscience of behind ethics, morals, beliefs. Yes,
Self-love 101.
yes, yes. I think there have been a number of articles from. I love the Suraj article that related, Marvel to. I don't remember the issue, but all the diseases being portrayed in Marvel villains. I loved Aval's take on her own story dealing with epilepsy. I loved Shantanu's article about using, uh, if I'm not wrong, dogs in some war, Russian war. I love that as well. I've loved one article by almost each writing team member. I also loved Rohan's article on cannabinoids. I loved Aishwarya's blog. Yes, I also loved Aishwarya's article in the previous issue. It is the issue before the cannabis article, obviously. It's I've loved an article by each member, honestly.
I think it's difficult to pinpoint articles because every author has stood out. So it is very difficult to pinpoint articles. But if I were to name authors, the authors which have like properly stood out, I would definitely say Aval,
Yeah.
Arunima, Shantanu. These three definitely.
I would also say I think Aval's articles, the one on epilepsy, She had done a very, very good job, and even the flow in which she had written it. So I remember I had to. It had reached like 800 words, and I had to help her paraphrase it. And I don't know what to remove because it's a story that's very personal to her and everything. So I just told her, Whatever you think is best, we'll just go with that. I'm not going to make any changes from my side." So that was I think the one that made the biggest, like, had the biggest impression on me.
If I had to choose authors, I would definitely say Aval and Surat because I like their writing styles. It's very like Aval is very straightforward with the topic, and Surat is, I wouldn't say dry humor, but I like the writing style. I don't know what to phrase it as.
Okay, so that was a bunch of really good answers. Now let's move on to a little bit more of a fun segment. Now it's time for Never Have I Ever, and here's how it works. We ask a question, and if you've done it, you take a sip of water, and if not, not. Just sit back and watch the others drink. Okay, so ready? Let's go. First question is, never have I ever nodded along in a meeting despite being completely lost. Okay. Harsh, did you take a sip? No. Oh
I,
my God.
I actually did that for the last question. My net went, and I kind of pieced the question together as you guys were talking.
मेरे को नहीं पीना ना. I'm excluded.
अरे
Okay,
तुम
okay,
लोग
तुम
with
ही
your
खेलो
the
खेलो.
both of you are also doing this. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Second question. Never have I ever written or approved something that I knew wasn't the best quality. Okay. Um, Third one. Never have I ever pretended to be busy to avoid being given more work.
I see you. Thank God it's happening. Both of you. Thank God this is happening at the end of this
This
volume.
pretending, never mind. I'm not gonna make it worse. It's fine. So,
Yeah. Nah.
I don't think it can get worse. Speak up.
no, let's keep going.
Okay. Fourth one. Never have I ever agreed to a deadline knowing full well I wouldn't meet it. Great. Okay. Fifth one. Never have I ever thought about quitting the team. Guilty is charged.
Oh no, I love you. Like.
Yeah.
You're the only true love. I agree.
So that was an amazing segment. And finally, what advice would each of you guys give to any new member who's planning to join us in the next volume, or even our current members?
To any new member or current member, always market about Eureka wherever you go. Read Eureka, make people around you read Eureka, always. Uh, and also, on a much more non-dictatorship type advice, Eureka has a lot of freedom for you to explore. There's something for everybody here, in my opinion. You are free to opinionate on anything under the sun as long as it relates to science somehow. And be it through words, through pictures, through audios, through information, through videos. Eureka is the perfect, in my opinion, Eureka is a perfect platform for you to put out your information, your story, anything. So there is something for everybody in Eureka.
Um, when advice, okay, I would say join. Just join. Even if you don't know how to navigate, let's say Canva, Google Docs, writing, reel editing apps, whatever, just join because the people in your teams and the entire team will help you grow. And this is something that I've witnessed in the last volume and this volume. And I've heard from people as well. So I will say just join. Even if you don't know anything, this is a platform for everyone to grow and obviously add some skills to your CV. Always.
My advice would be the same advice I've been giving my members also. is just to the largest of extent, just have fun. Because look, if you make any mistakes, the heads and the editors are always that like help navigate all of that. But in the meantime, try and get ideas that are unorthodox that people don't normally talk about. That'll be fantastic to read, stuff like that, rather than go for something safe, which is why I went for like cannabis also. It was like lead by example. So it was just have fun, enjoy the entire process. Since it is a student body, also it's nice because it's among us. We can like enjoy this process together rather than having well everyone was anyway, so yeah, so that so that would be my only piece of advice to help this experience be as good as it can be.
I would say that either if you are a member or a head, you need to be quite honest, like to the both parties. Like if you have an idea and the second person doesn't like it, you just have to be like you have to stand on your ground. You are just proving your point, so it's fine. And second thing would be that don't worry about what the outcome will be because at the end you somehow meet the deadline. So you just have to look through that. And I'm saying this because I've worked on so many issues and somehow the deadlines never meet us. So yeah.
Okay, that was some amazing advice to the new members and the current members. Mansi, would you like to add something to the question?
Okay, so my advice would be to join in because very personally, I sucked at social media because I used to hate using social media, and I'm like really good at using it, and that's only because of Mao. And it was like it's like a pinnacle of growth. It's like a personal development as well because there's a lot of opportunity that you're gonna get. So I think my advice would be just join in and take part and be a member and see how to navigate through everything. Avantika, would you like to add something?
Just join. Just as we say, Mao is wow. Even Eureka is wow. So just join and be in the wow movement. So yes, because आने के बाद तो उन्हें पता चल ही जाएगा ना क्या करना है. काफी मजेदार चीज है. So, as the saying goes, all good things must come to an end. We've seen a lot of things from Shreya being consistent in her diplomacy from the podcast one to the last podcast, Harsh learning how to change from giving honest answers to being a diplomat, and Rohan going from not answering or just minimalistic answers to having in-depth answers in this podcast. So the journey has been amazing. And with that, we wrap up our final episode for Volume 5.
Thank you so much, guys, for joining in. And all of you out there watching our podcast, and for the ones who have made it this far to the podcast, thank you. Thank you so much. And I hope you guys have enjoyed it as much as we did making it.
And of course, don't forget to check out our newsletter Eureka on the link given below to stay updated and learn more about the scientific community and its developments. Follow us on our socials given in the description. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to ensure that you never miss an episode. Thank you so much, guys.
Bye, guys.
Hi.